Hello, welcome to the Game Field Marquee match. We're in for what I hope is going to be a wondrous one. I'm joined by the incredible Joe Merc DeLuca. Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Glad to have you back, Maven. We all missed you, but as you said, should be, well, we hope to be a great match. You know, if we see the LA Thieves that we saw yesterday, FaZe could run away with this one. By the way, FaZe still have not lost on the year quite yet.
Yeah, they're still firing on all cylinders. Yeah, I thought this looked like an incredible matchup a couple weeks ago. Now I'm not entirely sure, but let's get right into it. We're gonna take a look at our Game Fuel featured player. It's Big Alec Arcitys. He has been a beast. I don't know how the hell he was allowed to be on this roster. The guy's nuts.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's brought in as the captain, as the leader of this team. You know, he is the guy that is gonna, you know, just make sure that they're playing that fundamental Call of Duty that they are looking for. You know, in those key moments that we saw throughout the major, it was Arcitys, it was his communications. He is making sure those tiny tears are sticking to their game plan, and as you said, when they've needed him, he stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to get back to the players. He won a world championship. You know, I talked to him. He said, I wanted to get back to the fundamentals, and they are doing just that. And he's just kind of been the backbone of this team. You know, he's that main AR. His teammates have all been frying. You've seen the stats over everything for FaZe. I mean, they've kind of been lights out. And I guess the question is just, when are they going to lose? Because eventually, it's going to happen, you would think. Eventually, it's going to. We were talking about it, Joe. Like, what was? I don't know off the top of my head, but like what the longest win streak is in a pro league, like over all the years we've commentated, and they've got to be getting close to it. It's been nuts.
Yeah, I mean, they're just really on fire right now. And typically, even with like the online setting, you would think maybe a team just have an off day or whatever it may be. But we saw last year when they would have an off day, they were still winning game fives. They were still ending up in finals. It's just the pure talent that they have. It just feels like, though, that the mindset is a little bit different this year. No matter what, they are working on things. They're finding things that they can adjust, that they can improve on. It feels like they're setting those tiny goals, and they're trying to exceed, and, well, so far that has worked.
Yeah, so far, so good. There's a lot of talk, a lot of gas towards this FaZe roster. They're undefeated. Let's meet the squad.
Atlanta, Georgia, you magnificent beast, you. This is 2021, baby. And the 2021 Atlanta FaZe are stacked. We got us a member of the Scuff Team of the Year by the name of Simp.
Grabs the bomb, 10 seconds left, and he realizes he can't get to the other side.
The other battle-hardened returnees are aBeZy and Cellium.
Away! Cellium! No, he's not even shut down! aBeZy doesn't even need to go fence!
Arcitys is here.
Can he get the angle over the top? He gets the kill! Arcitys with the 1v2 clutch!
Atlanta FaZe.
The #1 squad in the game as it stands. But a couple weeks removed from their victory at major #1. Arcitys, Cellium, aBeZy, Simp, and you know, Joe, we were chatting about this a little bit in the green room before this. Like, it's kind of wild to think it's one of the first teams in history, and I mean, there's been a couple maybe, but if you looked at every other player in the league, I don't know if you could make they'd make a change and improve this roster.
Yeah, that would be pretty difficult to do. I'm sure maybe someone out there has an idea of what they would like to see, like maybe like a dream team, of course. But I mean, so far you can't just. Yeah, I mean, they're undefeated. They won a major. They're #1 in almost everything. When we get sent to stats, it's just like mind blowing. It really is just how on point these four guys are.
Absolutely. On the other side of this matchup, though, our Game Fuel featured match, it is going to be 100 Thieves. You know, they've got a new player. They made the team swap, but they couldn't be more on the opposite end of the spectrum with results right now. They're hot off a loss versus the Royal Ravens. They're trying to bounce back, but it's going to be a tough test. Let's meet 100 Thieves.
One shot for the kill, the breeze cut freeze up, straight drop for the kill, the talking. Taking over pieces and shares of all sky high. Check the movement is here, yeah. It's one heart, one shot. Now the future is yours. Go. Yeah. It's one heart, one shot. Now the future is yours. Go.
The Los Angeles Thieves. Hopefully primed and ready. You know, Joe, it's interesting because there's been a lot of team changes over the course of, you know, Call of Duty history, a lot. And sometimes it seems like the honeymoon period clicks right away and you find success. Sometimes it takes a little bit more to get stuff going. You think it's just the case here for them? They just got to get rolling?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I would assume so. We know the way that sort of, I don't know, slasher Kenny teams, they build a system. And sometimes it's just difficult for new players maybe to fit into that system. But as you said, what you would like when you make a team change is to get that momentum rolling. But they didn't yesterday, and now you have to play the best team in the game. So it could be a tough first week for Venom.
Well, we're taking a look through the maps and modes and kind of how the vetoes played out. It's difficult to talk about the FaZe side because they don't have any losses in maps, period. But for 100 Thieves, for Thieves, was there anything that stood out for you?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, maps 1 and 5, they're undefeated. They're undefeated on Garrison. They're undefeated on Moscow. The one interesting thing, though, on Search and Destroy, you look at those vetoes. They actually vetoed Miami. And I don't know if I agree with that. I think they should have taken away Raid, Search, and Destroy. But it could just be, you know, we have these yearly stats. Stats are basically brand new, fresh with Venom. So, I mean, they're 0-1 on Raid, Search, and Destroy, but maybe their thinking is that, hey, we have a repetition with this guy. We went over the mistakes that we had yesterday. You know, we'll make some adjustments, and it's one of the maps that FaZe is lost on it. So maybe they're just hoping for that.
Yeah, you're going to need some hope. Maybe a prayer if you're going to pull off the upset. But, I mean, Joe, if we've learned anything this week, most of the results we expected has not been the case. I know some teams that we maybe picked to win or seemed to be a clear favorite got it done, but there have been a lot of upsets.
Except for when you play FaZe, because they're undefeated. So, yeah, it definitely has been, and I know the league is so close, but it's just the one team that stands out. I mean, we know LA Thieves, like, you know, when you're playing a team like Atlanta FaZe, you're going to have to bring a new level. We'll see if they can match that level. And again, it's a very good map here on Garrison where they are undefeated. They're 3-0. Atlanta FaZe 3-2. But Atlanta FaZe, right out of the gates, they're finding that early time. They're getting all those early kills.
Let's see how long they can lock it down for. But yeah, we'll get eyes on with Venom throughout the course of this. And a lot of people excited to see how he's going to fit in on this roster and when things are going to begin to click for them. But with 20 seconds remaining, you already see at number 5 on the minimap starting to rotate across. That's going to be Arcitys, our game fuel feature player, and he picks up 2. What a position and a rotation from him. They get set up in the back.
Yeah, I mean, he gets both kills. He flips the spawns. Now can Venom do the same thing? No, it's Arcitys. That's 5 in a row for him. He has an opportunity to earn some streaks. He's going to get some time, and that's what we talked about. That fundamental play right there. Now, is it difficult to pull off? Absolutely. But he recognizes the time on the hill. He wants to flip the spawns. He knows 2 are up. He catches them both on a 5 spree. A beautiful play, and now an opportunity to really extend this lead with these first 2 hills.
Well, game fuel feature player. Arcitys makes the play on rotation, and he's just soaking up the time inside. And now, just working to get that flip out. They get exactly what they want, and this is just not looking good for Thieves early. They're trying to break through, but there's still 30 or so seconds here they can accrue, but you got the right side of the map locked down if you're FaZe. What are you liking so far from FaZe outside of the big rotation there from Arcitys?
I mean, that's it. I mean, the slaying is there. You have Simp who's got 8 kills, but it's Arcitys who made that play. I mean, they come out of the gates, but he makes that. The one good thing for LA Thieves, as you said, they get the 30 seconds that, well, you know, will bring them within 15 or so, but they didn't allow Arcitys to get streaks, because what happens if he gets a kill or 2, not only can they really fight for that time on the second hill, they can use the streaks to break into third or to hold hill, that third hill down. Then that turns into, what, 110 point lead. So a big break for LA Thieves right there, what they needed, but they're going to have to do it again on this hill.
Well, Arcitys continues to mow them down as he's the big cutoff man for mid-map. As they're trying to get over towards generators, but it's just been all locked down by FaZe. Now trying to extend this lead yet again over to aBeZy. Simply too easy. Takes down 2 as Simp's looking over him in the back. 3 drop there for Thieves. That'll be no breakthrough. Now, I know a lot of the focus for us has been on FaZe early because, well, they've been kind of dominating the scoreline. But did you see anything from Thieves? I know they got the loss with Venom, but did you see anything you liked? Like any kind of change?
Not really. I mean, they honestly, I mean, they had a great comeback in map 1, but after that map 1, I mean, they got smoked. They lost like 3 rounds with man advantage in Surge. No, there wasn't a lot I liked. I guess, you know, you had Kenny in the flex. He was their best player yesterday, but that's really the only bright spot for me.
Okay. Not a lot. Maybe they can give us something here, but TJ just trying to finesse as multiple players starting to collapse. Well, the finesse is not going to happen. aBeZy puts him in the dirt. Up around 70 points right now is FaZe. Inside of 4th is FaZe locking it down. They've got eyes on mid-map, but up is TJ and Venom able to combine for 2. Now this could be the break inside. 3 drop now for FaZe. Simp the last man alive, and there he will fall. So hopefully you can pick up a good bit of these last 30 seconds. you get right back in the game. But that's been kind of the story, hard point to hard point, right? Just trying to break, and hope you get a decent chunk of time at the tail end of it.
Yeah, they really haven't had an opportunity to really set up, and when they finally do, it's this fourth hill, which it can just be pretty difficult to do so, especially when, you know, you're doing up against Atlanta FaZe. A nice shot right there from Kenny, who finds two. He's going to get that scrap time. And see what LA Thieves are trying to do. They're trying to control the middle of the map. They know Atlanta FaZe going to be spun on this side, but they want them to spawn on the opposite side. But with Kenny going down, see if that happens. Slasher with a big two cut in the middle of the map, and there we go. They get aBeZy who's able to spawn out there, and I actually didn't see. So it looks like one player did. Oh, Cellium lied out. Didn't even notice that. Okay.
All right, so everything we were talking about with regards to that map, never mind. We're going to get a bit of a restart going as one of the players dropped out of it. We'll hop back to us for just a moment.
I don't even know when that happened, so maybe I was like, okay.
Hey, probably in that last hard point, honestly. I was looking at the player list that much. I didn't see when Cellium dropped out of it, but that probably is why they started to bring it back a little bit there. But apologies for the delay. I'm not sure if it's on Cellium's side or just dropped out of the lobby or what the case may be. But depending on how they're going to replay this, it maybe bodes well for 100 Thieves considering how that started. But while they get it fixed and we get ready to get rocking in this series, Thieves versus FaZe, we're going to head to a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We just got to rolling in some information on what went down. I guess, unfortunately, Cellium's game crashed. So we're going to have to get back into it, restart the series. Yeah, if you're Thieves, you're probably pretty thankful because it didn't start out too hot. Maybe you get to rethink things and not let RCs make that big play on rotation to put you in a hole early. But let's take a look at our game fuel keys to victory. We're going to start it off with FaZe. What stood out for you, Joe?
I mean, when we looked at their stats, I mean, they're pretty much #1 in everything, especially when it comes to search and destroy. But this was just ridiculous to me. They are the only team above 500 in attack rounds, 43-18 in those rounds. Look out for Simp in control. He is the X factor for this team. 1.49 in wins, 0.89 in losses. And come out of the gates hot. I mean, I think you got to keep this LA team frustrated. Keep them down. Don't allow them to gain some momentum. So I'm looking to see how they come out in this game, #1.
Yeah, that first stat's just comical because it says the only team above 500, and they're way above it. Like,
yeah, 43-18. That's way above it. Yeah.
No one's even close. Like that's a ludicrous. Now, keys to victory on the other side of this. Let's look at Los Angeles Thieves. If they're going to beat them, how's it going to get done?
Well, Slay just has to be better than yesterday, right? I mean, you're going up against the best team in the game, and you can't be -35. The only player positive for them was Kenny, and we touched on that earlier. stay away from raid hardpoint and search and destroy. They haven't had a lot of success. Atlanta FaZe has. We are going to see it in map 2 though, and I think that's just because maybe they had a repetition with Venom from yesterday. And then TJ, as difficult as this is going to be, he is going to need to match aBeZy's aggression, I think, especially in search and destroy. And aBeZy leads the league right now in first blood percentage at 26%. But we have these certain impact players. It's TJ on one side, it's aBeZy on the other in search.
Oh, absolutely. They've been so impactful, so fun to watch in those particular modes. They've had put on absolute clinics at times. But yeah, you're going to need lights out TJ, I think, if they're going to win against the best search and destroy team in the game. But before we get to the search, obviously, we're going to have a replay of that hard point. A shot of the FaZe boys, they're getting primed and ready to go. But let's talk about their hard point stats and how they look, Joe.
Yeah, no, they look really good, don't they? 12-4 in hardpoint, best KD in the game mode. You can see that they generally don't really lose game 1s or 2s, as 7-3 in that game 1 and 5-1 in that game number 4. But yeah, I mean, you basically look at any game mode, any stat, they're up there.
Yeah, I mean, when you see those 2 games, it's so crucial. Like, think about how many series they're closing it out in the map 4 when they get there, they shut it down, or just, I mean, when you were a player, like, how big is it to just start off on the right foot, just win the map 1, go up 1-0? It's got to be huge.
Yeah, I think 100%. I think especially when you're like, you know that you have the target on your back, right? And everyone wants to come out hot. They're going to bring maybe that a little bit extra. The fact that you can kind of match that, and even if you lose game 1, how good your game 4 record is, and because you're the best search and destroy team. But yeah, that's it. They know that everyone is gunning for them, and they're going to bring it this series. But we'll see. I mean, Atlanta FaZe, they had a restart. What was it? Versus Toronto Ultra, and it was the fastest round we've had in control. So you know this team, they can easily wipe it off, and they do just that. aBeZy just runs up, finds 2 kills.
Well, at least I don't have to read any conspiracy theories on Twitter, since FaZe was leading at the time.
There'll be one out there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Somewhere.
I'm sure there'll be something. But yeah, so far so good. Another brilliant start. But where I'm really curious if Thieves do better this time is going to be on the upcoming rotation, the next 10 to 20 seconds. Are they going to deal with this better and be able to hold them back? And you can see they're putting so much focus into it. The problem, well, I don't know if it's focus on it or you just can't get to the hard point. Might be the problem as well. They just get shut down, and this is going to be a near perfect hold at first for FaZe.
And that's what you want to see. I think maybe it can be frustrating at times when issues out of your control happens. You're having a really good game. You know, Arcitys, he was like 12-5 at one point. He's probably like, man, like, I'm frying this game. Like get me back into that one. But there we go. Come out of the gate swinging. Up 40 points on that first hill. They have wrist control, Slasher trying to hold on. You already have who is that Arcitys, who's top green. And it's like deja vu. They break the rotation. Beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, this time, you know, at least you don't let Arcitys do what he did. You get in position to hold the hard point, but then you get 1 kill as your team gets smoked off the point. So the outcome's going to be pretty similar. It's actually probably going to be a worse scoreline this time around. And aBeZy is currently on 4 in a row.
Yeah, he's currently on streaks. Here comes aBeZy. He's just flying. He is flying. There is 5. Can he find number 6? I like this. Plays his life, realizes the situation that he is in. Maybe ask him for some help for his teammate. Hey, I'm on streaks. I'm on streaks. Catches TJ. And this could be a worse map number 1 for LA Thieves, because there is that artillery coming in. You're going to get set up if you are LA Thieves, but there's going to be a streak coming down on your head.
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible. You know, you just think in this scenario, since you start poor if you're Thieves, like, it benefits them more, but no, it doesn't. 10-2 now for aBeZy. Venom, the newcomer, slow start for him as he's 2-5, just trying to get something going. There he gets his 3rd on the board, 4th maybe in Simp. Oh, nice movement. He's going to get the kill.
Okay, and I don't see Cellium moving again. Okay.
Okay. All right, so Cellium apparently is having issues again. I don't know if he downloaded something he shouldn't have on his computer. He's struggling. We might need to get this man a new PC. Like, he's one of the best players in the world. Can we get him set up?
I don't know. I think we're just trying to get you warm-up reps for casting, man. We're just trying to get you back in there. We're running a little simulator, right, just to get that voice a little warm. So, you know, we shout out to the boys. Thank you.
Up for a week with some personal issues. I missed everybody, and I'm glad to be back. But, yeah, I guess that's what it is. You know, they thought I'd be a little bit rusty. So let's just cast the first hard point 16 goddamn times.
That's what it's looking like. Oh, well, I mean, hey. For LA Thieves, you're like, all right, well, I guess we'll just keep doing this.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to try and figure what's going on. We might need some tech support for Cellium. Apologies again for the delay. Once we get it all figured out, we'll be back to it. We're excited to get rolling. FaZe just wants to smoke Thieves, apparently. We'll be right back.
This is your Scuff Team of the Week, a super team built with 4 of the top performers at the most recent event. This week, we're picking 4 players from the Toronto home series. First up, it's Clayster of the New York Subliners. The New York squad had a rough start to the week, dropping their first match versus the Atlanta FaZe and starting their series versus the LA Thieves down 0-2. However, the team bounced back ferociously in map 3 with Clayster leading the way. He earned full score streaks at the end of round 3 to swing the map and keep his team alive in the series. The team kept building momentum in map 4. Clayster posted a 1.32 by map's end. The series culminated with an epic S&D performance for Clay and company, with Captain Clay posting a massive 12-4 scoreline for the dub. Next up, it's aBeZy of the Atlanta FaZe. The Atlanta FaZe, fresh off their Stage 1 major victory, kept their momentum rolling into Stage 2 with a clean 2-0 record in the Toronto home series. The team's been described as the most aggressive in the game, and aBeZy definitely does more than his fair share in contributing to their hyper-aggressive style. The guy's a terror in the S&Ds. In fact, he reminded us with his ace on Express versus NYSL. He's also one of the fastest, most in-your-face SMGs you'll run into in a respawn. He looked great in the hardpoints, but he really put in work in the controls, racking up the highest control damage per minute of the Toronto home series. Joining us yet again, it's Simp. Simp has been looking incredible since the start of the season. He went into the Toronto home series as the overall KD leader of the league, with an apparent mission to expand that lead even further. The very first map his team played, he went 36-20 on Garrison Hardpoint. When the dust settled at the end of that series, he emerged with a solid 1.35. However, seemingly never satisfied, Simp went even harder in FaZe's next series. By the time he was done with the Toronto Ultra, he racked up a KD of 1.76, the highest of any individual across a single series during the Toronto home series. Finally, it's Insight of the Toronto Ultra. Insight made his CDL debut with the Toronto Ultra during their very own home series. While the team failed to win either of their 2 matches, Insight made a huge statement in his very first game, Toronto's match versus the LA Thieves. It was a back-and-forth battle that went all the way to Game 5, Round 11. While Toronto ultimately lost the series, Insight absolutely turned up the heat in the last 2 maps. He went double positive on Checkmate Hardpoint, and in Game 5, he set the 2021 Call of Duty League S&D record with an 18-8 game. Not a bad first day for the kid. That's your Scuff Team of the Week for the Toronto home series.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
They say credit belongs to the man in the arena who spends himself in a worthy cause. The glory is reserved for the few who, no matter what, answer the call to enter the arena. It echoes out, reverberating across the globe. It only acts to reach the bold, never the timid. The call delivers victory to the deserving and rewards the devoted. For when your time comes, there is only one option. Enter the arena. Fight for the call.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Now, I do have some info. Cellium is having major problems right now with crashing, and they are trying their best to solve the issues. I've also heard that they're potentially getting him a backup PC to try and get this basically done and dusted and you know, not spend too much time fixing the issue and getting a brand new PC, you know, because we can do that here. He's a pro. Guess what he wants? But I'm back on the desk here with Nameless Man. I mean, from what we've seen, the snippets should be a very exciting match, maybe for Atlantic phase. But before we get into what we're going to be seeing there, I want to get your thoughts on what happened. First match of the day, NYSL taking down London Royal Ravens. You know, we did see some moments of brilliance there from London, and I just want to start off with, obviously, the losing team. What did you make of Royal Ravens going up against New York?
I thought they played a really competitive match. Every map was extremely close. We had Paul Lex basically balling from the beginning to nearly the end of the series. That game 4 was very tough for him. Obviously, he was running into Clayster a lot in those rotations. He was getting cut down on Moscow, but it's all right because throughout the series, he was playing absolutely phenomenal. It's what we wanted to see out of him, and I thought it could have went either way. You look back at that S&D, they're one round away. They should have closed it out with the streaks way earlier in that game. You look at the first hard point, you know, a couple situations where if they just hold it down, they end up finishing that map with a W, right? So they're constantly improving, and New York is a very tough opponent, especially when it comes to those hard points, and they did damn good in that series.
Yeah, they really did very, very good. We got our KDs right now for NYSL. And Clayster really did stand out there. In that final game, obviously, he had the vet plays with the spawns there. I mean, Nameless, what is it like having a vet like Clayster coming onto this NYSL team? How much does that truly elevate them?
I mean, I think he's one of the biggest reasons this team is finding so much success. He's hungry once again, and when Clay is hungry, man, he makes it work. With this team, obviously, he's playing with 3 players who are fairly new, and he's teaching them so much. This is the best that we've ever seen Asim play in his entire career. He's been elevating to a new level. And then the duo when it comes to Diamondcon in those respawns. Diamondcon is doing his job as that flex player. He's been fantastic. Clay's just sort of able to direct the troops where to go, how to set up, and it's been working.
It really has, and I think, you know, I remember you speaking to me on the desk previously about Diamondcon, and a couple of times we've seen his performance fluctuate a little bit, not
still
for the best, and
yeah.
sometimes unbelievable amounts. Yeah, do you see that improvement coming forward from him? Do you see more consistency right now?
Yeah, he's become a little bit more consistent. I think the biggest issue with New York at times is their play calling and search and destroy. Yesterday they made some really questionable decisions in that search, like that round where they were wrapping the map completely together as a squad but not clearing out every lane. The round where they all jumped out of the bomb site room to sort of force a challenge mid-map. Like, that's just the play calling, and I don't know if that's, you know, any individual player's fault. I think everybody's just sort of trying to be the best teammate they can be, and they're not really giving their input at times. So I think as time goes on and the players like Diamondcon and Mack and they get more, you know, confident in their own ability and knowledge in the game, they'll be able to contribute more, which will take that pressure off of Clay, which will lead to them not falling into those bad situations, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense, man. And honestly, from what you said, we're seeing that unfold before us as well. Little by little, we're seeing more strength in that team, more resilience in that team. The fact that they're able to reverse sweep, the fact that they're able to turn around an S&D from 5-1 down is pretty incredible, to say the least. We do have our road to the major on your screen right now. This is Group A, as you can see, Atlanta FaZe doing pretty well from themselves at the moment here. And we did talk about this, Nameless, actually, funny enough, before we actually came on broadcast today, about London Royal Ravens and this NYSL game and how important it really was for London to win that. Where do you see London right now sitting, heading into the next major and hoping for the best they possibly can get with CDL?
Yeah, you know, I think they win that series versus Toronto. And I think it puts them in the winner's bracket. I think we'll see, you know, FaZe, NYSL, Royal Ravens be the top 3 in this group and head into the winner's bracket, which will be a big win for Royal Ravens. You know, you come out with 3 wins after not winning throughout stage 1. You find yourself in a winner's bracket scenario. We saw, you know, LAG in the last major, they ended up making it to winners round 1 and they landed a top 6 finish, right? And that would be a huge turnaround for this team. A team that hasn't won a single match coming into this. They've caught a few dubs now and they're looking, you know, extremely competitive against a team that a lot of people would put in their top 4. It's good stuff so far.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is, man. We just saw our 2 teams that are waiting in the wings on our screen right there, Atlanta FaZe, LA Thieves. And we spoke about this morning. First topic of the day, in fact. Nimbus and I talked about what we expect really from Thieves, what we expect from Atlanta. And, you know, for Thieves, it was a lot of mistakes that need to be kind of corrected from a technical standpoint and their mentality as well. Because, Nimbus, just to reiterate what you said this morning, man, you know, there's a lot of work to be done, not just about roles and the roster and who's on the team. It's more about how they play. Just for people who might have missed that this morning, what do you think Thieves really need to do and focus on here, not just in this FaZe matchup, but for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, they were making a lot of mistakes. You know, this morning I sort of got really technical and talked about all the mistakes that they made in, you know, the hardpoint and the search and destroy, which, you know, obviously they have to go back to film and figure that out going forward. But, you know, the big issue that's going on with this team is they had the expectation coming into this season that they were going to be a dominant squad, right? Like they were going to be a top 3 contender winning championships. And, you know, after they started losing some games and that reality set in for them, it becomes really frustrating. You realize, man, we really got to do this again, like start from the ground up. It just seems like something within that core, the Slasher, Kenny, TJ, something is going wrong with those guys. Obviously, you know, Temp or Venom, it didn't matter. They're still underperforming at the moment. I think something within that core, there's an issue there, whether it's a mentality going into practice, how they're, you know, strategizing going into games. They have to really reevaluate from the ground up because last season, this was happening as well. This time, there's no excuse, though. Like, they're all in Texas. They have the internet. They have the squad that they want. Like, they really need to figure it out, man. And from a technical standpoint, there are some mistakes that you could point out. But, I mean, there's just a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I think it's really hard, I think, also for a team of this caliber to really focus on those mistakes. Do you think there's a possibility that they're focusing a little bit too much on these small things and not looking at the overall picture there?
So, I mean, in the search and destroy, for one, it seemed like they were extremely scared to plant the bomb when they didn't have numbers. And that could be something where in, you know, practice they look at some statistic that they have. They're like, okay, teams are losing when, you know, they don't have when they don't have numbers and they plant the bomb, they're losing, right? So but they had positioning on the map and they could still get that bomb down. So it's like risk assessment, when to take the right risk. You can plant the bomb, you can still win the round. Like it's just things like that they're dropping the ball on at the moment. And it could be in practice, you know, they're overanalyzing the statistics of their matches. Things like that can really get to a player. So hopefully they can figure it out going forward.
Exactly, you know, and it's risky business, it's Call of Duty.
You got to take risks
Very
at times,
risky.
and it pays off.
But you do, yeah, exactly. You do have to take a risk. And talking about risks, we are in risks of some people falling to the losers bracket heading into the major. We're going to take a look right now at Group B. We do have some absolute star-studded teams in this group. It's a very good group, and I think that's really started to form heading in past these weeks and coming into stage 2. We realise actually how great this group really is. I mean, Dallas, obviously, OpTic, a little bit of a shocker there with OpTic, Nameless, to say the least. The 3-0 sweep that they felt against Røkkr with Standy coming in.
That was bad.
A huge force to be reckoned with. Where do you see OpTic right now, dude?
Yeah, it's really tough to just judge them off that one match, right? But what we do know about OpTic is in the major, they got exposed for their map pool not being as deep as we thought it was. And then in this series, they made a ton of mistakes on Raid, a map they're supposed to be great at. In the Search and Destroy, they made so many mistakes as well. So, I mean, I think all the teams in this group, you know, outside of OpTic that we've seen, they're improving right now. So these matches are going to be really tough for them. We'll learn a lot in that Mutineer series.
Yeah, I think we will definitely learn a lot. And, you know, Røkkr as a whole as well, been seriously up and down. It's been a rough road for them. They made one roster change and it looks like a new lease of life has been fed into their team. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, what did you make overall of Rookie? Standy. Unbelievable stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, that debut was crazy. I mean, guy was running around just picking up all the kills possible, doing everything right. It looked like Attach is at his best when he has that sub duo that's just running right in front of him, picking up all those kills. And, you know, Priestahh is a fantastic player, but he hasn't been like that, right? Like he was in, you know, you look at Black Ops 4, he's running around the SOG, picking up those kills. He hasn't been like that. So Standy doing that and being able to bounce off a player like Attach, who's more methodical, he's like a route man, right? It just helped him so much. They looked amazing.
Yeah, he looked unbelievable. Honestly, some of the things he was doing, I couldn't believe it. But I think it's really cool for Røkkr to be in that power position now, to have a bit of confidence under them as well. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing. But we need to talk about another match that we're going to be seeing later today. Ultra versus LAG. Now, this again, highly anticipated to see Ultra perform once again. We know what's kind of been happening behind the scenes there. They've dropped methods, which kind of was quite questionable, I think, at the start. And Insight coming in was able to keep those numbers, you know, really able to keep AR numbers nice and high. And Insight's done a really good job of that. But unfortunately, it wasn't the ticket to win a series there. And they didn't manage to do it. But I have just been told, by the way, that I think the match could be ready very shortly. So that's pretty good news. Really quickly from you, Anne, what do you make of that? Have you done a prediction for Ultra versus LAG?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to go with LAG in that one. I didn't think they looked too bad in their last series. I thought the Garrison could have went their way. Just one little mistake towards the end there, not killing Mack. So I'm going LAG.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to a break right now, but when we come back, we do have our match ready and waiting for you. So we'll see you guys very shortly.
And we are back, getting ready to try this map 1 again. Someone somewhere maybe just wanted to see how badly FaZe can beat Thieves in map 1. At least it got worse the second time around. We'll see as we try to hop in a third time. From my understanding, yeah, both sides have agreed to go in and play again. If Cellium drops out again, they got to play through it this time. That's all I've really been told. So for FaZe fans, hopefully that's not the case. If you're Thieves fans, well, you might need that. But we're getting ready to go. Players are all in the lobby, and we should be started here shortly.
Yeah, we'll see if any adjustments can be made for LA Thieves. Maybe third time's the charm. Yeah,
that's the same for a reason.
Just hoping that everything works.
All right, well, see some smiles on both sides of it. Getting ready to go in. But yeah, dominant efforts both times from FaZe. I think it's all Nubsy. Tweet something like, I can see the headline now, FaZe beats Thieves 450 to 80 or something like that. Like once we're done with this hard point, if we can get through it. But take a look at the stats, and we showed it a couple of times, but obviously kind of a lights out map for FaZe. But God, you could desperately use a game 1 win here if you're Thieves. Well, let's get in. Hopefully you're right, Joe. Third time's the charm.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And I mean, one impressive thing for Atlanta FaZe has been their breakoffs. Just both games. You know, they found 30 to 40 points on this first hill. They've been able to, you know, transition it into that second hill behind some individual plays. It was Arcitys one time. It was aBeZy the second. Who will it be this third time, or LA Thieves? Will their third breakoff be a little bit different? There are some trades. There's some early time going Atlanta FaZe's way, but much cleaner for LA Thieves.
Hey! You're right! Third time's the charm. Yeah, well, they got 0 on first last time. This is already an improvement, but yeah, they get the 3 down, they get the breakthrough. Now, what are they going to be able to do with it? But pushing around their flank again to try and affect these spawns once again is going to be Arcitys, just trying to get shots in from behind. He's able to pick up both. There's the third. aLLeY making the plays yet again.
Yeah, beautiful shots, and he goes from top green. He flanks through bricks. He has an opportunity, maybe, you know, do I try to flip the spawns? But he just picks up the kills, and he's going to keep on going. It's Arcitys again, almost found his 6th in a row. And there you're going to see the spawns out. They flip the map. They do it behind one push. They wait for each other. It's those fundamentals we were talking about. A great example of it there.
See, it was aLLeY in game 1. It was aBeZy in game 2. Game 3, it's Arcitys and aBeZy.
Yeah, exactly.
Two-headed dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see if LA Thieves can get a break, though, this time. As TJ, he's going to find 2 openers, and, well, they are just going to rush the 1 player on it. A much-needed break. They know there's still 1 player behind him, and who is that? Arcitys. They're able to take him down, and, well, 6 kills in a row for Los Angeles Thieves.
Yeah, that was a massive break there. They pick up Arcitys as well. Then Kenny was able to hit the shots, and, yeah, excited to see what he's going to do with that AR in hand. The challenge not going to work out there for TJ, but now over to the newcomer's POV is Venom trying to move his way forward. As we get ready to transition over to generators, it's FaZe going to be set up in the back. That's Cellium in position deep. You still got TJ mid-map, though. Now where the spawn's going to come in, everybody kind of at old on both sides of it. I thought for maybe a second you might have numbers pushing if you were Thieves, but that's not going to be the case.
Oh, Kenny was trying to find that second kill. He was able to sneak on through, but there we go. They're going to take down TJ. They're going to take down Kenny. Those are the 2 pushing through towards that pinch. Trying to work the back spawns, and now aBeZy inside a tool can just focus on the front with his duo and Simp. They're able to take down 3. They take down all 4.
And yeah, they've been very good here as well. Yeah, that the Tiny Terror duo just locking it down. aBeZy aggressive again. The shots on point, 5 in a row. He was able to pick up some streaks in the game 2. We'll see if he can get them here. Not going to be the case, though, as Slasher and TJ come forward. But who's there to pick up the slack? It's Simp. He will drop 2 before he falls. And Cellium get the trade as he pushes up. I thought some awkward timing, but it's going to work out. Right back into the point go phase as they start to build this lead closer to 30. But now over to 4th we go. And mid-map, for the most part, will be Thieves. A chance to make a bit of a rally here.
They're only down 30. Good opportunity here as they get this set up. Simp trying to work through middle of the map, but he does get caught. So a pretty good setup here with TJ in that position. And, you know, a lot of the times when we watch this map, that break on this hill, you know, it comes from dark. It comes from that caution side through tool. But Atlanta FaZe are going to try and go all the way towards that back left side, push on through. Venom going to be the last member alive, and it's Simp. It's aBeZy. They take him down. aBeZy on another spree. Imagine he is ticked. He wants to win this map number 1. 12-7 start for him. As Kenny, he fires on back.
That moment right there for some reason reminded me of like you know, Jetpack Call of Duty, where that one person was flying high, you like drag their aim up and they can't snap onto the next. Like he just came soaring off the top rope, and Venom just couldn't quite deal with it. But aBeZy's double positive. FaZe have over the last couple hard points maintained this around 30-point advantage. Left side though, the map controlled by Thieves for now. Slasher is in this position. Looking to hit the shots. The nade might be on point. It is. He's able to hit it. Takes down a second. Slasher and TJ combine to take down 3. Last player is going to be top green. Slasher gets another. That's 3 in a row now for him. Pushing out to 11-9, and FaZe A is spawning deep in the back.
Yeah, and you saw immediately as they push on up. They rotated. They got catwalk control. They flipped that spawn. They have FaZe trapped now on that left side of your mini-map. Slasher on 5 in a row. Getting aggressive here. I'm actually surprised he got that aggressive on 5 spree. You know, you'd like to see him maybe slow down a little bit, maybe earn some of those streaks, but he's going to get taken down. Still, you have time. Going the way LA Thieves. Only down 15 now. Break opportunity. Cellium and Simp find 3 kills. Simp inside, trying to maybe to find that shot melee. But it was TJ who takes down 2. But map for the most part, in control of Atlanta FaZe.
Well, they've got... I thought Cellium was starting to work on some streaks. I think he was on like 4 or 5 in a row, but he will end up falling out of our game field featured player. It's Arcitys, shots on point. The head comes clean off of Venom. Cellium involved in the action as well. Now into our second set of rotations, and yeah, I mean, it's as close as it's been. 4 Thieves with FaZe. They're set up. They've got the left side. They can really rally together here with 1 and 2 and push this lead out if they can get it clean. Or will we see another break out of Thieves? Who's leading the way over there? It's pretty balanced for the most part, but Slasher kind of heating up, which you love to see. He's not been popping off as much this year so far.
Yeah, and aBeZy right now, I mean, he finds 2 more kills. Does a great job top green in this position. It looks like LA Thieves are trying to get 2 players to push on through, maybe flip the spawns for second. And while they shut it down, it's 7 kills in a row now for Atlanta FaZe as they get a good chunk of time, but also trying to lock down the spawns for next. Arcitys gets the call that, you know, someone's pushing on through. They get all of the kills. They have the spawns. They spawn a little bit safe, and now Arcitys in a position we've seen him before, 4 in a row on this second hill. And this is a good chance, as you said, to really just break this gate wide open.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you saw them locking down first with those spawns, you think they've got a chance to really chain together 80+ points. And so far, all the kills coming through for FaZe. That's 3 in a row, 4 in a row, squad wipe. And Thieves are all going to be spawning out. And I was going to ask you, what have Thieves done well to keep it a lot closer this time? But second by second, it's getting right back out to the advantage we saw the first time through and the second time through.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for them is they were able to break the second hill right on the first rotation. It looks like they might be able to do that here. It's Arcitys, who has been alive the whole time. He does get taken down, but you'll give that 24 seconds up, and you're just going to rotate. I mean, LA Thieves have just been in this situation. They have lost the skirmish time and time again on second hill where they do not have spawns, and that puts them in a position where they push for the time around 30 seconds on one of their pushes. Atlanta FaZe says, you know what? We get taken down. You can have that. We're going to set up for this third hill, which, I mean, you said it. Every single map, this third hill has been money for Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah, Simp and aBeZy have just been so tough to deal with at the front push, and now Simp's going to flank through. The flank is on, and well, it's Simp and aBeZy able to pick up the kills yet again, closer to eclipsing that 200-point mark, and finally getting through this map 1 is Cellium. Hey, he's still in the game. It's magic. But still Simp's POV, they're lining up, they're dropping, about to another squad wipe. Nope, Slasher barely survives, gets the kill, but not sure how it's going to matter in the scheme of this hardpoint. He's got to wait for the reinforcements to come in, and on the pinch this time, it's aBeZy. They keep pushing out that top side and flanking through, just picking up kill after kill. But finally into the point, go FaZe. But I think, what in 1, 2, and 3 here on the second set of rotations, like too much damage was done from FaZe. They outscored them, what? It's got to be close to 130 to 40.
Yeah, it's right around there. And the big thing again is like, when is the break happening for LA Thieves? It's not early on. It's the last 20 seconds. So who's going to get set up for the fourth hill? Who's going to have that opposing team spawning in the back where aBeZy is just dealing with them one by one? It's to be Atlanta FaZe getting that time, getting the setup that they want. aBeZy up to 26. The talent just really showing for Atlanta FaZe. And Kenny, who had a great match yesterday, was the leading player in the slaying category for Los Angeles Thieves, having a tough map. But I think they just really all are. Like, you can't ask for your team to break every single hill, and that's really what they had to do, was try to break this setup time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see a team get a big break or two a game. It'll happen, but just not that many, right? You can't rely on it every single time, which is how it felt. There's 11 more points needed for FaZe to look to close it out. 3 go down for Thieves. The pounce starting to come in for FaZe. Lovely little hop up there from Venom to keep Thieves in this one, but they're going to need to put up around 100 points to stop FaZe from getting 10. FaZe are already in the point. They've got the crossfire on point as well. That's all 4 dead for Thieves, and the map 1 victory hopes for Thieves will die as well. Cellium managed to stay in the game. We managed to get through map 1, and I think it's what we all thought was going to happen. It's a map 1 win for FaZe.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will get the cumulative scores, but it was a lot to a little. I mean, the first set of rotations on this map, much better for LA Thieves, but after that, it was all Atlanta FaZe. They controlled the pace of the map. the sling was super one-sided. It's around plus 30 just on this map of Garrison. And that was one of the things that you needed to see more from Los Angeles Thieves was that firepower.
Yeah, you just got to feel for Thieves right now in the sense of what, they're going through a difficult team change. A team that is not in a spot they probably expected to be with the roster they had coming into the year. And then you have a really disappointing loss when you make the change and it just doesn't get easier. Then you got to play the Titans right now. You have to play FaZe. And I just think you have to go into it. I mean, you never go in expecting to lose. You're always going in expecting to win and get the dub. But considering they just made the change, you just have to try and find whatever improvements or positives you can through this match.
So yeah, it's plus 27. There you go.
Okay.
I mean, just a balanced effort from everybody. But what, Simp and Cellium right around 5,000 damage.
Oh yeah, they were lighting it up. What did Pollux end up with? Oh, did he have like 8,000 in the control? What was it, 7,800?
Almost 8,000. Yeah, like 7,800 in that control.
Yeah, that was a big game. Usually when you're getting that high, somebody is popping off. I think he put up 41. But yeah, pretty balanced all around from the FaZe side. In the third, hey, what? Third time's a charm, Joe. They get it done. FaZe get the victory, and now we start to get prepped for a search and destroy where FaZe have been very good. They are far ahead of everybody else, especially in that particular game mode. But Thieves, if they're going to make a difference here, he said it's got to be TJ. He's got to be the one to match that pace and playmaking ability of aBeZy. Search and destroy coming up after the break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Hello! We're getting ready for the map 2. FaZe, Thieves looking to do battle and search and destroy, but let's take a look at the quick scope here presented by Scump. Aside for FaZe and Thieves, how they fared in both modes, and well, no shock there. FaZe has got the edge.
Yeah, 12-2 in search and destroy. And I mean, for Los Angeles Thieves, you're 7-7. 4 of those losses are on raid, where they are 1-4. They just lost yesterday. First London 2-6. They blew some, man advantage rounds, some rounds that they probably should have won. But yeah, here is a look at Atlanta FaZe, their search and destroy this season. 12-2, you're number 1. 1.3, you're number 1. Rounds 80-41, you are number 1. And that ridiculous attack stat, 43 and 18 on offense. You're number 1, and it is by a mile.
Well, that's even more ludicrous when you think about the fact that they're actually better on offense than defense in search. And when you think about search, at least in my eyes, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, over the history of the titles we've had, usually there's like one map that favors the offense, maybe. But usually it's pretty defensively favored. The fact that they're better on offense, I don't know that there's ever been a team that's been the case. That's wild.
Yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous stat, and I just think that's, I think on offense, maybe just for them, because it's sort of like an easier goal to push as a team. That's why when, sometimes on defense, you're a little bit more spread out. Everyone has a little bit of a different job. For offense, it's just sort of, we're hitting this. We know what we need to do. And when you have aBeZy leading the way and leading with first blood percentage in the league at 26%, that helps.
Certainly does, but they come sliding out. It's a flurry of trades, but Kenny is a difference maker. aBeZy and Arcitys both going to drop. So terrific in that map 1, but Kenny wants no part of it here. Well, they continue to control mid-map. Cellium just looking over, trying to get eyes towards top laundry. They got to track back and pick up bomb, and you can see courtyard, just every angle kind of covered right now by LA.
And this is just around that LA Thieves. This is where they have to execute, right? You have the man advantage. You're in a 2 versus 3. Use that man advantage, convert it into a round win. You know they're going to give up the bomb plan, so you're going to retake this site. Now, what's the plan? Where are you going to try and attack it from? Cellium heard a slide middle, so he actually hops off the bomb. That was Slasher. So that actually helps them. That gives them a little bit of a moment. They might catch Cellium here. It looks like he's able to get to that outside ring, but still running away from Los Angeles Thieves. Up top, Simp's going to go down. They know where Cellium is. You have 3 players. You're going to fly at him, and there we go. So a little maybe like, you know, you throw the audio cue to Slasher. Maybe that gets him off the bomb. Maybe he meant to do that. Maybe he didn't, but it worked out. It helped him.
Well, no, I just like that, I don't know, they put themselves in a position at 3v2 where they can at least try to guarantee a trade. How many times this year have we seen someone going rogue, getting caught, then suddenly it's a 2 versus 2? And I think you've said it a bunch of times. Like, it's not the worst when you're up a man to let someone plant the bomb. Just play the retake. You don't have to get overzealous.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just all about the start of the round, right? I think when we watched Atlanta FaZe play this, they are all about min-map control. And you know what, Los Angeles Thieves, they fight it head on. You know, they send 3 out of kitchen. Kenny's able to find 3 kills in that round number 1. And who is it? It's Simp and aBeZy. They take mid-map control. This is what we saw throughout the major, you know, in that final. They're so darn good in that position, but there's Venom with the first blood. And another round, you have the man advantage. Now, what is the play call going to be? How are we going to use this to your advantage?
Well, Slasher's trying to get eyes. They're all funneling through. Kind of similar to what we saw Thieves do on the other side, but...
It's on Kenny. Can he just get one?
Can
he just find a kill?
Might have it here. Position pays off. No trade. Nice movement to stay up. And he making the plays. He was so big in the first round, calling out for his squad. Venom gets another. The peak is in, and Thieves now up 2-0. And what, this is only, what, one of the 2 searches that you've lost if you're FaZe. They lost here was Ultra, right?
Yeah, to Ultra. Uh-huh.
I think
but right
that's
there,
the one
I mean, a good round. I mean, Kenny with a bit of an off angle, but his ability to stay alive, and now he's up to 5-0. You know, he doesn't overpeak anything. He doesn't get overzealous. He backs you into that corner. And when you back into that corner, that forces someone to slide out at you, and his entire team is watching over him. Even if he gets taken down, he should be able to get that trade.
They have
2 good rounds.
They have 1 kill through 2 rounds. Like, this is... this has not been a good start for FaZe at all. So good from Thieves. Another first blood, technically. No, I guess technically it went to Arcitys, so...
It's a trade, yeah.
Yeah. They were both at the same time. I wasn't sure at first, but... Numbers for the first time to FaZe is they'll play this 3v2. Kenny trying to take the fight. Out comes the peak. aBeZy gets the kill. Jumps onto the second Slasher, though, able to win it. Now with 24 seconds to go in a 1v2 against Simp and Cellium. Good luck.
Yeah, just the time thing now. This is what really hurts when you allow this bomb to get down. And what LA Thieves is hoping is that they can work the flank. I mean, it was that Venom and TJ, they just push. And it's a good read, but I think it's Cellium who gets that second kill on the Venom. Cellium's up top. If he doesn't trade that, it's a 3v2. You know, Venom's up top in that apartment, and you're basically screwed, right? The pinch is going to come on in. They know your position. But Cellium finds the impact kill, gets them on the board.
Yeah, well, they finally get some kills from him. Kenny did well in the round 1 to fight from mid. This time just kind of hold it deep in Zig. And it's aggressive and quick towards A. aBeZy is flying in, but he's able to get away with his life. Bomb now getting planted on A. As Thieves look to get this down. You've got, what, kitchen control, aBeZy messing around Zig. Then everyone's kind of set up in the back, working on the retake. Who's going to be the crucial man here trying to get a pick for FaZe?
Well, it's really that one-on-one. I mean, aBeZy and Kenny, because that's going to turn the tide. So Kenny knows now that he's not flanking. He can give the call out to his team. He'd reposition. Nade. There was about 4 nades on that staircase going down. DJ Venom, they didn't get 2 kills. It's all down to Arcitys. In a similar spot, we saw Slasher. How do you retake this with 20 seconds left? You don't.
Yeah, he actually has one behind him, though, is the problem there, too, is he gets shot in the back. 3-1 now for Thieves, and I'm not sure how many TJ killed in total there, 3 or 4, one being his teammate, but they get the round victory. Nice movement inside of Tiki from TJ as they keep rolling. What's, I guess, been the biggest standout for you so far for Thieves and the success here up 3-1?
I mean, Kenny, even that round, just not to die to aBeZy, you know, on that Z push. Because if Kenny goes down, the flank is open. Someone then has to look, you know, has to watch the flank. So then that's when they sort of hit you from the front and middle, staircases from the middle. Just his ability to stay alive, recognizing his island positions on these offenses.
Well, no one got the bomb, so they're going to have to track back for that. It's going to be Simp who's going to go get it, and it's another first blood for Thieves. It's TJ now, up to 3-3. But a big first blood. Now we'll see if they play it the same way. Last time it was a 3v2, but they grouped up mid and they played the retake. And it looks like it's going to be basically the same thing. They're all going to kind of funnel through Zig, push back through the apartment. Last time the big gunfight win was to rip somebody out of laundry. Not going to be in that position this time. And Cellium out the van, hitting the shots. 3 are going to go down. Everybody dropping all on Venom now. Good luck, young man. Welcome to the Pro League. As he had the entire roster basically shooting at him there. And that's, I mean, yes, you have the numbers, and we just talked about the fact that you can play the retake sometimes, but it does not go well there.
Well, you know, it can be difficult at times. I mean, you sort of get in these positions. You're hoping for the first kill, or at least a trade early on.
3 dead straight in a row?
Yeah, well, and that's why I thought in the first retake, it was a big deal that Slasher actually stopped Cellium from planning for those 5 seconds, because you could see what happens when Simp gets off the bomb and he gets off free. He can get into a position to help Cellium, and then you have this crossfire set up. But a nice offensive win there. And this is going to be all about ring control in this round, and that is a hard counter and a half. aBeZy, Cellium, and Simp all ready for that push, and they just take over.
Oh, yeah, they hit it. They just got hit back. He said the blind counter, they are all there and in position. This will put it now into 3 versus 1. Kenny's been great. But he's going to have to muster up some magic here. There's a nice pick to put it into a 1 versus 2, and yeah, you point out the time because it's a big difference, right, between having a minute plus to work with and not. He's got his choice of how he wants to approach this, and we'll see how Kenny opts to play it.
Yeah, you see Cellium and aBeZy, they're basically just playing the 50-50. If he goes to A and plants it, they're going to be okay with that. So, you know, they're playing around the B. If he shows himself, they'll work together. If he goes to A, they'll rotate back. Does he find a timing? I don't think so. aBeZy, Cellium, so good in these situations. They do it again. Tie the map up 3-3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Kenny's plan there was hoping if he waited a little bit, they might rotate off. But as you said, they played the 50-50, and they just stayed. And it's a guessing game to some degree there. And Kenny guesses wrong.
Yeah, he's just trying to open timing. I mean, that's really it. He doesn't know where they're at. He's trying to get as much information as he can.
Well, we'll be at 3-3 now. You've got 4 kills in a row for Cell, 3 in a row for aBeZy, and they'll get back to where they've been. I can't stress how much better they've been than the other teams when it comes to offensive rounds and search and destroy. But they're back to offense now. And the plan of attack is towards B. Except with the first blood, Arcitys follows up with some lovely beams. TJ does pick one from mid. Kenny gets one over at A and is 1-on-1. So suddenly, what looks so good for FaZe in the opening is down to a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, sort of your 2 island players got caught. The 2 players in the middle were like, what do we do? So Kenny wraps back. He takes care of Simp. TJ, he got a kill towards middle towards ring. So they're going to know his position. The bad part is he's going up against Cellium and Arcitys. They both have Krigs, right? So they're going to try and keep their distance. Here comes the push up from Kenny. Cellium playing his life, taking his time. There's going to be the double peek. There's the shots. They connect. And yeah, just so crisp with that Krig. They were into a 2v2, but Slasher gets picked middle of the stairs. Sorry, Kenny.
Yeah, and that's just a good pickup by, I don't know if it was Arcitys or Cell, but you know, your teammate died at the offsite. And I don't know if you just have to play that differently there. If you're Kenny, I mean, it's kind of predictable, right? Like, he just got the kill there, he runs a mid-map, and they get the angle from it and catch him. But now 6 in a row for Cell. It's 7-3. Really taking over this map. They found no success towards B because there was a stack. This time they want to hit A. Well, the entire roster of FaZe is basically on that side of it. It's just the defensive counters have been there these last couple of rounds for FaZe.
Yeah, aBeZy gets aggressive towards pool, and he's got Arcitys watching over him. aBeZy finds that pick on a Kenny and Zig. We saw that earlier in the game. aBeZy wasn't able to connect with a kill. Kenny got away with his life. Not this time. An early first blood. Just the map control. Look how just difficult it is to attack this.
Doesn't this remind you of the hard point a little bit? Like in the sense of like, Thieves play them tough early, and then once they get on a roll for FaZe, they just run away with it.
They just make their adjustments, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, probably why they're a championship team. The ability to make the adjustments and improve as the game goes on. Flasher. Let's put this into a 2v3, a lot more manageable with 30 seconds to go. But aBeZy is just lurking, and there's the pounce. TJ drops. It's all now on Slasher, and he does not have a lot of time to work with. And he has no hope to work with either. He'll get dropped. One more round now needed for FaZe to go up 2-0.
And this is the opening. So aBeZy's getting aggressive to go up middle. Venom, he peeks his head. And, well, Arcity's like, well, I'm ready for this. He's ready for the push. And with Venom getting taken down, they can't make that aggression towards that A site. And then when you lose mid-map control, it's just, especially down a man, it's just so difficult to cross to either side because you have the pillars you have to fight through, you have that middle staircase, and that's not easy when it's Simp and aBeZy.
When did Cell die last? Like round 3 or 4?
It's been a while. Just hanging out.
It really has. Well, there's another first blood from the First Blood King. aBeZy gets it now. Can he catch Shitty one? It's a double peek. aBeZy gets his second of the round, and now a 4v2 for FaZe to close out this map too. Cellium, he's got streaks. You don't see it all that often in Search, but he's got him to work with. 6-3. And that was, what was that, 5 straight? Was it 3-1?
Yes, 3-1, 5 rounds in a row.
Whew. And that, like, I know we talk a lot about the, importance of various things when it comes to being, top of your craft in Call of Duty. And, I think a lot of us, you can speak to it, like, the gunplay is actually one of the smaller pieces at this level. Everybody can kind of shoot straight. Then you talk about the communication and the teamwork and the ability to make the, those adjustments during the middle of a game. And we kind of saw that through the first and second map. Like, how big is that to you? Just the ability to adapt, improve, and conquer in the middle of a map.
Well, I think it's huge too because you're also losing 3-1, and I think it's difficult at times when you're losing maps for aggressive players like someone like aBeZy to sort of get rolling a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Like, he understands the impact of his role. He has to keep up with the aggression. He has to keep up the mid-map pressure. The first couple of rounds, they don't go his way, but that doesn't matter. He sticks to it, and it pays off. Yeah, I mean, they just continue to make the adjustments, to throw different looks, and they win 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and, well, props to Cell, too, because I know when I'm dealing with technical issues, like when I'm streaming, so I'm losing my mind. I get tilted so quickly. So he was dealing with some issues, and he bounces back, and he has been frying. But I'll look through the stats there. Slasher, a ton of damage. He's only 4 and 6, but I think he did 1,600 or 1,500 damage. But Cellium, I mean, I think his last death was like round 3 or 4, and then he just didn't die again. That was rather ridiculous from Cellium. But now let's take a look at our US Army tactical play. We're going to check out one of the big moments. It's going to be Cellium. Let's see what he was able to do.
Yeah, this is in that 2 versus 2. And maybe this is one of those plays at times where you're trying to do a little too much, right? Kenny gets another kill. And maybe he's just trying to peek for some information. But Cellium says no. He takes him down. That allows them to get that bomb plant. And then in this 1v2, I mean, he just plays it perfectly. He buys time around this van. He allows Arcitys to get into a position. And then when Arcitys is in that position, he hits the jump shot. They shoot together. This is how you want to play these rounds with man advantage. You get the information, your player life. Cellium does it perfectly.
Incredible plays there out of Cellium and FaZe. They go up 2-0. Haven't lost yet. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon as they keep on rolling. We've got control coming up after the break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuf, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by USAA Insurance. We offer insurance that's made for the military community to help them easily protect what they've worked hard for.
The game has turned on its head.
Run! Run! Get onto the point! Cellium finds himself 2 more. Oh, baby! Absolutely slayed. What a magnificent comeback from Atlanta.
Arcitys, he's been our Game Fuel featured player. As FaZe keeps cruising along, we're going to take a look at, I guess, some of the stats kind of with him and without him versus last year. And I know stats are never really the talking point for Arcitys with us, with this team, even though he's been great. It's more just the intangibles he brings, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, he's just helped everybody else. You know, in Atlanta FaZe, they were so good last year as well. With all the finals that they made, you know, they were the #1 team throughout the year. So it's obviously going to be hard to even improve upon that. But you can just see, you know, what he does for the guys. He puts them in the correct positions. And here's a look now in control. And, well, that is all Atlanta FaZe in the highlighted is, yeah, they've been good in basically everything. And maybe something a little bit different here is their defensive rounds. We talked about their offense and search and destroy, but on control, it's them 16-3, where their attacking is 11-12.
Well, I feel like the one time we casted them, though, they lost, and that was in that series where they already had like the first place spot locked up for the Major 1. And, you know, you talked about them kind of testing some other stuff, trying to widen their map pool a little bit. So it's like, well, I think it's 1-2 for Thieves and 0-1 here for FaZe. So not really a lights out map by any stretch of the imagination for either team. But we did see them start to, I guess, seemingly put focus on this.
Well, and I think it's just one of those things as the game comes out, what maps you like, you know, compared to what you don't like. And we're seeing a lot of control on checkmate these last couple of days. And the reason why is people, all right, like as much as we love playing raid control, you know what? There's just some teams that are better at it. And there's some teams that are better at Garrison. So, you know, there's not a lot of teams that have played too much control checkmate. You have to throw something different.
Well, I guess it's different too when you think about the number of maps allocated to the different game modes, right? Like you have more for search and destroy and hard points. So if you have a couple weaknesses, maybe it's not the end of the world if you have like a bad map, but when you only have 3, like you kind of need to be good at them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I guess not all. Well, no matter what, you have to veto one, so there could be that bad one, but yeah, it's just you know, maybe there's one you want to avoid.
You don't have to, but like I guess being good at all 3 just gives you more options against deeper teams, but that does apply to every mode.
Yeah, because I mean, Garrison and Control have been the maps that, you know, Atlanta FaZe has really played. Same with LA Thieves, yeah. But you're seeing it more and more. Teams are getting better on offense. We're seeing more offensive round wins, and out of the gates, it's going to be early progress here at A for Atlanta FaZe.
TJ just trying to win this one-on-one. I thought he was going to get caught with the movement, but he wins the gunfight. But Simp's duo and aBeZy does come through with the trade. He actually picks up a second right after that, and that's going to be the A point secure. Now, this map's a little bit different than some of the other controls in the sense of just how difficult offense has been for most sides, but so far, so good. And, you know, when it comes to a battle of attrition, just the more progress you can get, the more kills you can get if you're offense. Even if you don't win the round, it bodes well for getting a 5th round defense.
Yeah, this is already a great start for Atlanta FaZe. They're up a couple of lives. They have some time to work with, but if you can get some pressure on Los Angeles Thieves, right, control that plane. Gum's going to find the first pick. aBeZy's just going to get on B. This just forces a rotation on LA Thieves, right? Someone's got to get him off the point. And while he jumps off of it, he catches one rotating. He catches 2 rotating. That's Slasher, that's Kenny. And now if they decide to, they can get back on. They can work the spawn kill. As you see Simp already doing that.
It's just not often that we see a team working on the second point with 2 minutes to go on checkmate. Not very often at all.
Yeah. It's been happening a little bit more. Again, teams are getting better at it and how to execute it.
Yeah, and that happens with, I mean, I know Control's only been in a couple of titles, but yeah, same thing we saw back then. Like, teams get better at offense. It just happens. You've got, what, 15 lives? You have 14 for the 17 on the side of FaZe. FaZe find a flurry of kills for a second. Kenny trying to be the difference maker. It's pistol out, not going to hit. aBeZy wins another one as they pause the clock again for a moment. Still a good chunk of time to work with, and I don't know if this is going to come down to lives or not. Both sides still have a fair amount. We'll see how this next flurry goes.
Yeah, there you saw the good old, weapon swap, catching Kenny there. Some, it's not the best tendency to have at all times.
Yeah, for a second, my instinct was he was out of ammo, but then I remembered it's Kenny, and he's just, swapping weapons constantly because his hands just have to.
Yeah, exactly. But the big thing for Atlanta FaZe has been like these middle map fights, and when you can swing the map control, they've been finding 2 or 3 kills to give them position to stall the clock. They're still up 4 lives. LA Thieves only down to 6. You're basically going to have to play perfect here, but playing a little bit conservative. They're forcing Atlanta FaZe to at least get on the point, at least put 1 person there. And that is working out. They're able to take down 2. Venom sliding in towards Arcitys, but Arcitys and Simp staying alive. Clock still ticking. No respawns remaining. There's a second ticket that's going to pop.
Everybody's got to go huge now. He said no respawns to go. Can they make the plays? aBeZy through the flank. I thought he was going to get caught, but he just slides out of harm's way. Now you just need a tiny bit of progress here to close it out. Simp looking over him, gets the kill. Last player alive will drop, and FaZe get a huge offensive win on Checkmate.
Yeah, they just take their time. They know they have a lot of clock remaining. They were up in lives. And they never lost mid-map. And when they did lose mid-map control, they found a set of kills that got them out of the spawn. That's the only time on offense where things go horrible on Checkmate. It's like when you lose playing control, you just spawn all the way in those back corners and you got to fight everybody in those power positions. But they won those fights out of it. That allows them to, just get on the point, stall the time a little bit, get off of it, catch LA Thieves, and a good round 1.
That felt like a 5-minute round, I swear.
Yeah, it did.
It really felt like a really, really long round. Well, Arcitys gets the opening kill. aBeZy follows it up. Doesn't look like it's going to be an early capture for Thieves as of now, as everybody gets cleared out. Allows FaZe to move up the map a bit, but any quality beams. He had a rough first round. He was 1-9 or 1-8 through that first round. Looking to find more success here on offense, which unfortunately not much easier for him. But as Kenny looks to make the plays, FaZe are looking to put Thieves down with a hot 3-0. Let's go to an Astro listening with Atlanta FaZe.
Coming. What the fuck? Why'd you go for me? Top go great. That's one red.
I'll play one shot.
Try to rotate left. What do you guys are
bottom lane, yellow lane. Bottom yellow lane. You went big.
Yo, beat him. You got beat him.
Nice.
I'm weak.
I'm nading over A. I don't even know much.
Kenny absolute blue wing, and I hit one with an 8A. And that's all.
Yellow lane.
They're going me. Kenny and Austin. Good job. Look at Kenny. Kenny was bluing. He's in my top.
I have your cross. I'm
nading over A.
Top lane on me. I'm one shot.
Go.
I have you up.
Venom, one more close. You're done. Top lane. I'm shot.
Table Kenny weak.
Kenny dead.
Nice.
Look for Austin.
Austin right, dead. One shot right. He's absolutely underneath. One stack, Venom dead. One shot.
Well, Joe, this looked a little bit more similar to what we see a lot of times for an attacking team on Checkmate. Not finding any success. Time will dwindle. FaZe up 2-0 and close to closing out this series.
They found zero success just right from the get-go. And I mean, even in that short listen, and it was, the one thing that stood out was just RC is like, hey, 2 of you guys are here and one of you rotate left. Like 2 of you in the same position, one of you rotate. Make sure we have this setup that we've worked on in practice. Don't go away from that. Stick to what works for us and what has been working in practice, and it's just what you love to hear.
Yeah, I think that has been one of the things that stood out to us the most, just from whether it's player interviews or player tweets. Like, a lot of the teams struggling have just said, we need to do what we're doing in practice. We're finding success in some spots where it's not doing it in the game, and yeah, they seem to be able to do it. And RC is probably a big part of that. He's 16-8 on a 4 spree. Give they a win-2 offenses as he keeps on soaring, keeps on flying, building closer to streaks.
And again, it's just these early round starts. We saw it in round number 1. They're doing it again here in round 2. They have a 4-life advantage. They have 2 players on, or they have someone on B. Look at Arcity's position, where he's forcing Atlanta FaZe to go. They have to rotate all the way around into this trap. aBeZy, he's like, hey, I'm showing you some love, because right now we are destroying you on Checkmate.
Oh, jeez. They
are trapped.
It's all 3 rounds. They've won that opening duel. And It's big. Think about it in a hard point. When you win that first wave, if you get a 3 or 4 down, it usually leads to what? A good chunk of time and maybe spawns for the second hard point. On control, it might lead you into getting smoked throughout the whole thing, and that's exactly what's happening here as Arcitys gets 3. Then he gets team killed by his teammate, but I don't think they're worried about it because the lives is 25-12. Thieves are getting pooed on.
It's not good. It's humiliating. I mean, they're not capping the point just to keep spawn killing them over and over and over again. It was 25 to like. I was a little. I mean, still, you're up 16 lives. You have all the streaks. Like, man, Atlanta FaZe just they are ahead. And you know, we talked about it for Los Angeles Thieves. You know, it's tough when you make your roster move to have to play this team. We saw it happen at Toronto Ultra last week. It's happening to them.
It's just got to be. I mean, and I'm not a pro right now. As Simp is, yeah, just showing a little extra love, as you said. Now he's just going to try and pistol people across the map. But it's got to be demoralizing sometimes to just get beat in the fashion that they've been doing to squads.
You know, they're undefeated. They haven't lost yet on this year, and they are going to stay perfect once again. As there's one life left. Uh-oh.
Oh, God, that is violent.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, I love that. I love it so much as the players having fun, rejoicing after the victory. And it's another win for Atlanta FaZe as they remained perfect. And they were damn near perfect in this series.
They really were. Yeah, you know, they get the job done, stay undefeated, stay atop of the group for Los Angeles Thieves. You know, I mean, you make the team change. It's always tough making a team change, jumping into, you know, playing some of the best players in the world. You know, they got to get to work. I think the one good thing for them is, I mean, they had a pretty solid stage 1, so CDL points-wise, they're kind of right in the middle of the group. But looking at the standings, because, you know, they lost to London, I don't know how they are going to. I don't even think it's going to be really tough for them to get top 3. A lot of things are going to have to go their way.
Yeah, some crazy tiebreakers to somehow pull it off.
I don't even know if they can. Yeah.
You see at the bottom there with the game field marquee match. That is going to be the 5th 3-0 from Atlanta FaZe. They lead the pack in that regard. God, it's like we're a broken record at this point, just talking about how many, I guess, records they have where they're in first in this and first in that. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, but that's where it stands. 3-0 FaZe. I know the series took a little bit longer than expected due to some of the restarts with the first match, but it just looks like they're getting better, I think, is what's frightening.
It is. Well, that's what's going to happen. I mean, so when other teams are trying to improve, you go through team changes. And when you make these roster changes, this is what happens. You know, you're going to take a step back before you go forward.
Yeah, it's funny because that's actually been talked about over the course of the years. I remember with some of the dynasties in the past with Complexity or an OpTic, and you know, the FaZe isn't there yet. Do they have the potential to? Yes, I think we can agree on that. Maybe, but yeah, when you're at the top like that, yeah, keep making those changes. keep working on it, because the more you're working on stuff, the more we're just going to continue to roll. And you know, hopefully the net gain for these teams is eventually you get a lot better. But in the interim right now, where you're trying to improve, it usually is a body of work. And for FaZe, they're just going to keep dominating. It looks like.
No, I mean, they play every search map, right? They play base. Now they play every control. They looked a lot better on that checkmate control than what we've seen in the past. We saw their hardpoint stats, almost #1 in everything. They just don't really have a weakness. They don't have a weakness. So it's going to be a question out who's going to test them.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been their only mode where they didn't have a winning record, right? They were 0-1. Everything else, I mean, I'd have to look at it, but I can't imagine they don't, just considering how good they've been in every mode. So now you get to 500, you're 1-1 there. Just keep widening that map pool. But let's check out the scuff play of the game. It's going to be Arcitys. He dominated from beginning to end over the course of that.
Yeah, I wonder which. Okay, so we're going to pick in round 1. And, you know, it's just his ability to stay alive on this zone. Right, and when someone is capturing this zone, now this forces Los Angeles Thieves to have to run at him. You have to deal with that player. He's got the streaks coming in at the end, and he wraps the missile in. They connect. He's able to take down 3, and that is when things get naughty here on this map.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's a good way to put it. But let's look at FaZe's remaining schedule, because I think the question for most people is when the hell are they going to lose and who's maybe going to beat them. I kind of want it to somehow come down to like a Surge versus FaZe, and it goes to a game 5, and you have that Prestinni versus Arcitys thing again, because that's led to some emotional and wild moments. That's what I want as a commentator, but who knows when we'll see that. But if they're going to drop before we get to the major, it's going to be through Guerrillas or Ravens. As it stands right now, it's hard to imagine either team beating FaZe. I know Ravens have been improving, absolutely. It's been great to see that. But I don't know. Anything's possible. We've seen a bunch of upsets, but it looks like they might be going undefeated. They've only lost 1 map through their first 3.
Yeah, like maybe London, but yeah, as you said, I mean, we'll see. They catch them sleeping, but yeah, for LA Thieves now, I mean, you're 1-3 in the group, and now you don't have you lost both head-to-heads to New York and London, who are fighting for that second or third spot.
Yeah,
so that's just a tough spot.
It's tough because, like, if you have the loss to NYSL and to FaZe, like, those aren't bad losses, right? Those are good teams. But with where the Ravens are right now, that loss is what's going to really hurt them to maybe get into a winner's bracket spot. But let's talk about the major coming up. We had Major 1. Major 2 is around the corner. We're excited to see how that's going to break down. Guerrillas will be hosting that one April 1st through 4th, kicking off at 3 p.m. Eastern. April 7th through 11th. That was for week 3. I thought we were going to the major league. My bad. So that's going to be April 7th through 11th is where we're going to kick off Major 2. And the first one was a lot of fun. We had some crazy, insane matches, some wild upsets. Just looking forward to keep building these memories with you, Joe.
Absolutely. Always looking forward to that. I mean, it's all about, those tournaments. That's what the players are focusing on. And for group play, they're just trying to get better. They're trying to ramp things up for that major.
Absolutely. Well, you see Arcitys, he was our scuff play of the game. The addition to this roster has had them perfect so far this year. And after the quick break, we'll have him with Lobby.
Hello everybody and welcome to your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Joining me, I have Arcitys from Atlanta FaZe. I gotta ask you, Arcitys, you are so good at this game. It is unbelievable, and the pickup from Atlanta FaZe bringing you on for this season was absolutely beautiful. Chef kiss.
Thank you.
We love it. But your gameplay as an individual improves almost every single year without doubt. I just want to know, what do you do personally to improve your gameplay so that then in turn benefits your team?
I mean, I like to watch VODs at night. After we play scrims, we lose a couple matches, we lose maybe every map. I'll go back and watch my VODs. Like, I'll go to the gym and start watching my VODs over there, just like get my mind free, like my mind clear, and just like know what I'm doing wrong and know what we're doing wrong, and I'll just come back the next day and figure it out.
I love it, man. I love that. Hey, the grind never stops, huh? And you know what, talking about VODs, does it ever worry you that pretty much every single team in this league watches your film and literally looks at what you guys do? And do you take that into consideration when you guys practice?
Oh, yeah, we consider every day. I mean, obviously, like, right now we're the top dogs, and little do they know we're watching their VODs, too. It doesn't matter if you're 0-11, it doesn't matter if you're 15-0, we're still going to watch your VODs. We're not going to go into a match just thinking we're the better team. We know what we want to do, and we want to prove everyone that we're still got that fight, the hunger in us.
You certainly do. You've been showing that for sure across the board here in Season 2. Now, obviously, Arcitys, we've heard you many times refer to your teammates as your brothers. What do you do to motivate the rest of your team?
I mean, the end of that game, we're just having fun. Like, obviously, like we didn't mean no disrespect to LA Thieves. Like, it was just a misfunction in the PCs, and they just got the bad end of it. I don't like winning hard points 450 to like 100, so we had to take our anger out towards the end of that map. You know?
I like it, man. We love what we see from you guys. It just gets better and better. And you know what? We appreciate the honesty here, Arcitys, but thank you so much. Congratulations once again. I have a feeling this won't be your last interview, so
it's like my 8th one.
Going forward, man.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. We've heard from Arcitys himself from Atlanta FaZe, absolute homie, and honestly just going strength to strength here with the Atlanta FaZe team. But we're going to take you to a break right now. However, don't go anywhere. We have our final game of the day, Ultra versus LAG. We'll see exactly what gets thrown down on this one right after the break.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Use code CDL2021 for a special discount on GameFuel.com. Tournament audio and team listen-ins are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
Hello! We have returned, ready for our final match of the day. We've got Guerrillas going up against Ultra. Guerrillas looking to find form. On the other side, you're working on a team change like several teams have been doing. We've seen some great stuff for Ultra. Not the victories yet, but maybe some improvements. Excited